Yo, what's good, people, man? It's your boy Rick, man. I'm back again real quick, man. So look, LIB Media, man, we in the house. I just want to talk about what I seen from the 2028 the 2028 Olympics is that the owners gave a 32-0 vote. Speaking of NFL owners, rest in peace, Jim Irsay. I saw that he passed, man. It always feels kind of sad when an owner passed, especially an owner that has owned a team for a long time. He was the owner when the team when the team won championships and stuff. He wasn't necessarily the best owner, which a lot of people, talk about. Like, he had a lot of ups and downs. I will say this. He played a big factor for my team. Y'all know I'm a Washington fan, and he played a big factor in getting Dan Snyder out of there, which showed a level of, like, morality, because Dan Snyder was doing a lot of messed up stuff. And so he played a big factor in that. But a shout out to my homeboy. My homeboy is a Colts fan, so I need to get up with him and see how he feels about this whole thing. But either way, life and death is something precious. So rest in peace to anybody. Condolences to his family. Rather, no matter how the world looks at him, a death is a death. Now back to the flag football. It was a 32-0 vote. Everybody voted that the NFL players can play in the 2028 flag football championships. Now, it's really two things I kind of want to talk about with this, right? So I'm looking at the quick rules real quick, right? I'm just looking at a small thing that says this is the rules. I'm about to let me share this anyway so y'all can just see the rules real quick. All right, so long story short, these are the rules. 10 players per team, 5 players on the field. Field is 70 by 25, 40-minute games, 22-minute halves, including the 2-minute warning. 4 downs to reach midfield, 4 downs to score a touchdown. No run plays within 5 yards of the end zone. Overtime, if score is tied, with each team getting equal chances to win. All right, so this is kind of my problem with this whole thing, right? So I'm not gonna act like I played in the NFL, right? We all know that. That's why I'm sitting in front of this computer, and those NFL guys are in the NFL. But what I will say is that I played high school football. I think I was a pretty decent player in my own right, and I also played on flag football teams, high school and college. And just because you play a position in real football, it does not always translate to flag football. And so I want people to pump the brakes about the NFL players playing, because there's certain little things that people don't understand when you're playing flag, right? Because I've played 5-on-5 flag. I've also played 7-on-7. I've played 4-on-4. I've played a lot of different types of flag, right? Actually, low fun fact, my little flag team won a championship one year, but that's neither here nor there, right? good memories. That's all it is. But just because you play a position in football, in like real football, it doesn't necessarily translate to flag. So I seen a couple people talking about it, and they're like, well, it's 3 years later, so like, all right, so like I'll give a great example. Like the people who play cornerback, right? That probably translates to flag, because corners are just playing corners, right? It translates slightly, though. Not as well as you would think, even quarterback, because a lot of times when you're playing flag, depending on the rules, you'll snap the ball and lateral it to the other person in the backfield. So now that person can run. He's an automatic runner because somebody else don't touch the ball, and now he can do whatever. So it's not as simple as, oh, let's just get Patrick Mahomes and put him at quarterback and then we win. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that in flag the way it works in real football. So in real football, if Patrick Mahomes snaps the ball, he can just run if he wanted to, because that's just how the position works. And flag, right? You got the rusher coming, right? And then so you got the rusher and you don't got no lineman. right? So that's the first thing. You're automatically running around, and then a lot of teams put in like little things where you will put the ball in the, depending on the rules, you put the ball in the belly of the running back. So now that he touched it, now you pull it. Now you're a passer and a rusher. So when you get NFL people who work on a craft, it gets kind of weird. It's kind of like the same way of when people in boxing call another boxer awkward, because like he doesn't necessarily follow the rules, like everything you learn, the jab and all that stuff, he doesn't do any of that. So now when you're fighting him, it feels a little weird. That's how flag works. It's like for the wide receivers, you're not necessarily running real routes. Like you run a route, then at a certain point you're just trying to get open. And if the same thing applies for the corners, right? If you're studying film, every wide receiver you're covering is running a route tree. So you're able to react to the routes because you recognize them. Now you got a person just zigzagging across the field and then just running, right? That throws you off because you can't necessarily use like regular cornerback technique against that route. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a real route. And the same thing applies for the receivers, is that don't come off the line expecting you just about to run a real route. Just run. You really just running around trying to get open, right? And so a lot of times, you normally be wanting to, if you're playing 7-on-7, you want to play zone because it helps. So people not running into each other and stuff. 5-on-5, you're not really to do that. You're not really able to do that. The only zone play is really that safety that's in the back, right? And then the rusher, right? And so I seen people saying like, okay, well, we could do this, and then we can get people like, I saw somebody bring up like Micah Parsons could be the rusher. I'm like, see, when you do that, you're missing the spirit of flag football, because flag football is like a condensed version of 7-on-7, where the rusher a person who plays cornerback in the NFL, because he's that fast, he can be the rusher because he can get there faster than everybody else. He's just that fast. And he's used to breaking down and tackling people in the open field. You know what I'm saying? It's a better thing. Or even a running back, you can have a person who plays receiving in the NFL at running back. That's why I think people need to kind of pump their brakes, and the Olympic flag football team that we already have, I think they need to take that team. And you may have certain NFL players come out and may be on that team. Like a person like Travis Hunter comes to mind, because I think he'll be a great flag player. I've seen him play flag before on YouTube videos. Also, he's a two-sided player, and you can tell he's kind of a bit self-taught at both of those positions. That kind of translates to flag, right? Like flag is just knowing how to get open, knowing where the rush is coming from, right? And then also being able to make a person miss. So like when you're a running back, right, which I played, a little bit in high school, right? Like when you're trying to make a person miss, right, when you're doing it with pads on, is different, because with a flag, you can juke a person who's trying to tackle you, because all you really got to do is make their shoulder miss your body, and then they miss the tackle. And flag, you got to make their hand miss the flag. And if you jump to the side, your flag kind of lifts up. So it's grabbable, right? And you might want to, even if you spin off a person, that spin might look good in real football, but I'll just grab your flag anyway, even though you're spinning off of me and the move looks great, but you're not actually getting it. So making a person miss a flag is a different body movement than just regular football, right? Because you're not really breaking a tackle. So I think all of those things apply. I'm glad that the players are getting to play, the ones who will play. I know Justin Jefferson is a big flag fan. I think he always played flag, so like he probably translates because he knows how to do it. But I think we can't just say let's just get the best football players, because it doesn't work the same, right? Like it's not going to look like organized football. So the way it translates might be different. But y'all give me y'all opinion on that, man. I know most people just saying, hey, they're athletes. I think those players on that USA flag team right now, I think a lot of them are great athletes. I think, some of them may not have the size, you know what I'm saying, or the high school stats or whatever to play in the NFL now. But I think it's great athletes around every corner. Like if all y'all go outside and you see the bum on the side of the road, he could have played high school sports and been good, but life just ain't worked out for him that way. So, like I said, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This your boy Rick, man. This is LIB Media. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man, and everybody have a good one, man. I'm out of here. Peace.